As we grow to become adults, a part of us starts missing our childhood days. A time without worry, without care, and without taxes. We miss the games we played, the people we met, and the love that we received. But when I look back at it, there's something else that seems to be missing. Not the obvious things like innocence, creativity, or imagination. Something else. That we forgot. Something crucial. As children, we had no concept of the past. How could we? We had only been born a few years ago. The future was a vague concept, and we didn't really care about it. So we focused on what was present to us. We cared only for the next thing in line. If we felt sad, we would cry. If we felt happy, we would laugh. Everything was unknown, and so everything was exciting. We were doing things just for the sake of doing them, so we were living just for the sake of living. But the way we were then, we were kind of useless, or that's what society taught us. According to an article published by Mark Manson, life can be divided into 4 stages: mimicry, self-discovery, commitment, and legacy. For the purpose of this video, we need to only talk about stage 1 and 2. In stage 1, we mimic the people around us until we can start thinking for ourselves. We are always searching for approval and validation. We are highly dependent on our caregivers or parents for survival. So we develop survival mechanisms that help us not be abandoned by them. In stage 2, we try to find what makes us different. Contradictory to that, in this stage we learn how to fit in. This is where we experiment with a lot of trial and error to find the things we enjoy and the things we don't. The things that we are good at and the things we suck at no matter how hard we try. Stage 2 is about finding your limitations. It's about learning that our time on this giant floating rock is limited, and therefore we should spend time doing things we enjoy. But we also learn that everything we enjoy doing isn't always good for us. We realize that not all our dreams can come true. We discover the heights that we could realistically reach. In doing so, we discover our limitations. Stage 2 is a part of life that is filled with contradiction. But something else happens between stage 1 and 2. Something subtle that doesn't reveal itself until after a lot of suffering. A major change takes place in us, somewhere between stage 1 and 2. We start lying to ourselves. Zoe Chance, an associate professor of Yale University, conducted an experiment in 2011. 2 groups of participants were asked to take an IQ test, but in the second group, the list of answers were printed at the bottom of the page. To no one's surprise, the second group performed better. When these participants were asked if they would do equally well on a similar IQ test, but this time without the cheat sheet, the answer was a resounding yes. These participants had tricked themselves into thinking that the cheat sheet didn't play a huge role in their good scores. To confirm her suspicion, Chance did another experiment. The setup was the same, but the second group was presented with a financial award if they could correctly predict their scores in a similar test. Overconfidence would result in loss. Surprisingly, this time, the participants actually believed in their self-inflated intelligence even at the face of a financial loss, proving that their feeling was genuine and deeply held. They had truly tricked themselves into believing that they were smarter than they were. There are numerous studies like this one which show how commonly self-deception can take place and how regularly it plays a part in our life. But the self-deception this video is concerned with is involved with our desires. Maybe the best example of our subtle self-deception is when we come across a stranger who we are instantly attracted to. We want to talk to them. In fact, our desire to talk to them is intense. We start thinking and soon overthinking. What would they think of you? Would you come off as a creep? What if they say no? And before we know it, they have up and left, never to be seen again. Then we rationalize our lack of action and convince ourselves to think that we didn't care anyway, or it wouldn't have been worth it. But why did we stop ourselves? There could be a plethora of reasons, but we wanted to talk to them, right? So why did we concern ourselves with how we would be perceived? The most dangerous case of self-deception is not the one that happens in studies like the one conducted in Yale University. It is the subtle self-deception that we saw in action in this example. Somewhere along the initial stages of life, we deceived ourselves to think that there were things more important than our own desires. These people then go on to become parents and also influence a large number of people in their lives, and they trick others to be like them too. And soon society backed up this claim by using the words such as selfish. You are selfish if you only care about yourself. You are selfish if you don't sacrifice yourself for other people. And so by attaching this very negative connotation to the word selfish, we tricked each other into thinking that our needs shouldn't be our priority. The only individuals who survived this mass deception were healthy people who prioritized their needs over all. We all know that one person who we kind of admire. For me, it is my childhood friend. He wasn't afraid of what anyone thought. If he wanted to talk to a girl, he would do it. If he got rejected, he would move on and not mind. If that same girl insulted his friends, he would let her know she was being a bitch. He would do what he wanted, and if someone had a problem with that, then he would maybe apologize. People, like my friend, seem to radiate a confidence that makes us question our own way of doing things, and secretly we want to be more like them. The difference in us and them is that they never deceived themselves to care more about anything else other than their own self-interests. And again, society would portray these people as selfish, but this isn't selfish. Their interest could be to care for someone they liked, and then they would do that and not think about what the other person might think of them. If their interest was to speak up for their friend, they would do it and not bat an eye on what others thought in return. While still being respectful, they exercise a healthy level of selfishness. This kind of selfishness is the same as we were children. We lost this level of selfishness somewhere being a child and an adult. We forgot who we truly used to be. We were little goofballs of energy filled with curiosity and a care for nothing but our own wants. So we must ask ourselves, is there something out there that is more important than what you want? What you want doesn't need to be only about yourself. It could be the want to protect your loved ones. What we want could also be contradictory. You may want to leave everything to travel the world, and at the same time, you may want to care for your parents. That is fine. Both of these feelings are completely valid. What matters is that you truly want it. Whether you pick one or you find a balance is up to you. It's a struggle that's worth having. In Top 5 Regrets of the Dying by Broniver, the regret listed at the top is, I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. That's what I hope you get out of this video. A way of life through courage and honesty. Thank you for the doc. Thanks for watching the video, everyone. This is Coffee Talk, my own little cafe in some corner of YouTube. I hope you were able to learn something new and relax while you watch this video. If you did, you can pay for the coffee with the subscribe button and leave a tip with the like button. It's time to close the shop, but I hope to see you again.